we got Leon Edwards versus Carlos Prates. Now, start with our boy Leon. Boom. Leon Edwards, recent fights. Now, these are multiple of his recent fights. We're not going to go over a ton of pictures between them. I just wanted to point out, it's kind of interesting. You know, when you look at Leon Edwards, he's going against a lot of wrestlers. You can see going against Sean Brady, Bilal Muhammad, Colby Covington, and Kamaru Usman. He's going against wrestlers and grapplers. He's not really going against extremely high-level strikers. And the kind of crazy thing is you look like, in terms of certain of his stats, you can look like he's getting outstruck by a guy like Sean Brady, which is weird. Sean Brady, he's not a striker, you know. He's well-rounded, but he likes to grapple. He wants to keep it on the ground. And even against guys like Bilal Muhammad outstruck him. And a lot of these stats too, it's not like just ground and clinch control shots. It's like even distance striking, he's getting outlanded. But then you could also look at it on the other hand of he's fighting all these wrestlers. He's having some success. You can see that's why I have this in red. He's still doing decent in the grappling. You can see besides Sean Brady did cook his ass. He went 0 for 1 on takedowns, only 15 seconds of control. But you look against Bilal Muhammad, Leon Edwards went 2 out of 2 on takedowns with 7 minutes of control. That's impressive. That is very impressive to me. You look against Colby Covington, you can see he went 2 out of 3 on takedowns and had 1 minute and 27 seconds of control time. That's impressive to me. You look at his fight against Kamaru Usman, 1 out of 5 on takedowns, but 2 minutes and 56 of control time. He's obviously not beating the wrestlers in the wrestling. We know that. However, he's still looking good. He's still able to have quite a few moments of success against extremely high-level wrestlers. Carlos Prates is not a high-level wrestler. He is purely a striker. Now, his grappling is a bit underrated, but he's a striker. He wants to keep it on the feet. He has a ton of power. He wants to knock your head off. I just had this in here to talk about Leon Edwards is not just some one-trick striking pony, and it's going to be a back-and-forth striking match between the two of them. I think Leon Edwards is going to have the best shot in the wrestling, in the grappling here. I think he definitely could pull off the upset if he comes in here like a Marab. If he tries to grapple, I think he could have quite a bit of success against a guy like Carlos Prates. But this is another thing I wanted to point out in terms of, I guess we already talked about it for a second, but in terms of the significant striking, I mean, we could see Bilal Muhammad outstruck him, so you could look at that and be like, ooh, that's not a good look, you know, Carlos Prates, he would smoke Bilal Muhammad in terms of just pure striking, so that's a bit of a concern, but you could also look at the wrestling, you could see, well, Leon went 2 out of 2, and the takedowns with 7 minutes of control, also very impressive, or you could also look at his fight against Bilal, and you could see distance striking too. It's not even just the clinch shots, it's not even just shots on the ground, it's distance striking. Bilal Muhammad damn near doubled him up on significant strikes. You can look at it from either way. Probably a bad thing with the striking, but pretty good with the wrestling. So, in terms of Carlos Prates' recent fights, the one fight I really wanted to talk about, I don't know if, this is the one I really wanted to talk about. I didn't know if I had it first or not. But against Ian Garry. Now, Ian Garry won this fight through the grappling. He had Carlos Prates second-guessing himself. He had him confused. He was worried about the takedowns. He wasn't able to just let the hands fly like he normally is able to do. We can see throughout this entire fight. First round, he's landing takedowns. Now, Carlos Prates has good moments of his own. He's able to reverse some positions, able to have some success in the clinch against the cage. However, it's just, he has this thought in the back of his head of like, oh shit, this guy's going to shoot a takedown on me. I can't land haymakers. And that kind of cripples him throughout this entire fight. We can see Ian Garry, second round, going for takedowns. Now, Carlos Prates, I believe he gets out of this one, which just goes to show he has good takedown defense as well. It's pretty impressive. He's able to sprawl a bit. Yeah, the second round, he's able to get out of this one. If he landed, I would have had the picture in there. So yeah, he's able to get out of some of these attempts from Ian Garry, which was impressive. It just goes to show you, like, he definitely was training for this aspect of his game, and it looked pretty good at points, but at other points, we could see Ian Garry landing these takedowns. Halfway through the third round, Ian Garry lands another takedown. Ian Garry was just had this constant pressure and this constant threat of the takedowns, and he was able to land quite a bit of them. You can see in the third round, he's able to get to a dominant position on the top. You can see third round, even against the cage, he's comfortable just controlling Carlos Prates against the cage. It's not even that he has to do a whole lot. He can just sit there and control his ass against the cage, win minutes on the scorecards. That's how he ends up winning. We can see the longer this one goes on, I can see, what is this? This was, this is a prime example too. I didn't have the time. Oh, this is the time in here. Yeah, 33 seconds left. This, you can literally see Carlos Prates throwing a left hand. He's throwing this haymaker, and he overextends on it quite a bit, you can see, and that's all Ian Garry needs. He overextends, misses the shot. Ian Garry ducks underneath it, and at that point, boom, easy takedown. You can see at this point, Carlos Prates is cooked. Ian Garry's taking his ass down. Great takedown, like it was nothing. Third round, he ends it, controlling his ass. Fourth round comes back, boom, Ian Garry shoots another takedown a minute into the fourth round. At this point, see, he's laughing at him. You can see he's like sticking his tongue out. He's just trolling him. You can see another takedown attempt from Ian Garry. 3 minutes, 30 seconds in the fourth round. He gets it going on of a single leg takedown in the fourth round. Ian Garry's looking like Marab here. I mean, he lands another takedown against the cage. 4 minutes, or fourth round, 3 minutes in. he's controlling his back against the cage. I mean, Ian Garry, you can see this nice little trip. You can see his leg wrapping around. I mean, holy shit. You can see he was cooking him. Now in the 5th round, Prates really starts to push the pace, and he really starts to he almost gets Ian Garry out of there. I mean, he rocks him, he hurts him, landed some huge shots on him. So it's Carlos Prates is dangerous the entire time. But the thing that I really wanted to point out about this fight, or just this matchup in general, you can see Ian Garry, you look at his takedown stats, and you're like, well, he lands 1 per every 15 minutes on average. 1 takedown, that is. You can see 33% takedown accuracy. That's not very good. However, he dominated Carlos Prates in the grappling. He dominated. That's how he won. He landed a bunch of takedowns, racked up control minutes. Carlos Prates was too scared to overextend on shots. He was too scared of tiring himself out, and it really fucked up his flow throughout the entire fight. That's how that went down. But you look at these stats, it's like, just looking at the stats, you wouldn't think Ian Garry could do that. 1 takedown per 15 minutes, 33% accuracy for takedowns. Then you look at Leon Edwards. 1 takedown per 15 minutes, 36% accuracy. Leon and Ian Garry, damn near the same level grappler. And you could argue, Leon Edwards, these stats are against higher level of competition, and they're against extremely high level wrestlers. I think Leon Edwards probably has the grappling and the wrestling to be able to implement a very similar game plan that Ian Garry did against Carlos Prates. I will say. Oh, I forgot I had the slide where I compared to both. But you can see it here. I would not be surprised if we see a very similar fight to the Ian Garry and Carlos Prates. If I'm Leon Edwards, I am not standing and striking with Carlos Prates. That's a recipe for getting knocked out. And I didn't put it in here. Oh, this was another really beautiful exchange of Ian Garry. Just look at the technique on this man. He's pulling the back leg out. Lands. Oh, this was beautiful. Beautiful. But anyway, Leon Edwards, if he stands and strikes, he's going to get knocked out. I mean, we have seen Leon Edwards hurt so many times. We saw him hurt against Nate Diaz. Bilal rocked him. Who else rocked him? Someone else hurt him too. I'm blanking who. The main one I can think of is Nate Diaz when he points at him. But we've seen Leon Edwards' chin cracked multiple times. So don't like Carlos Prates, if he lands flush on Leon Edwards' head, he's going to knock his head clean off and Leon Edwards will get knocked out. That's a very, very live reality. And that's what I think is honestly going to happen. I think if Leon Edwards comes in here trying to come out like Khabib and he wrestles extremely heavy, wrestles the entire 15 minutes, doesn't let Carlos Prates get any ounce of wiggle room, I think Leon Edwards wins this fight, genuinely. I think Leon should win this if he can stick to a smart game plan. I know people are going to call me crazy for that, but on the other hand, I think it's either Leon Edwards by decision or Carlos Prates is going to knock his head off and he's going to get knocked out. I feel like it's Edwards by decision, Prates by knockout. Seems like one of the two. And the last thing I'll say about the Ian Garry fight too, Carlos Prates is just not a 5-round fighter. The whole 5-round fight, the game planning for that, I think he was just a bit too hesitant going into that. In a 3-rounder against Leon Edwards, Carlos Prates has nothing to worry about in terms of the power of Leon Edwards. Leon Edwards just doesn't hit that hard. There's no knockout threat of a Leon Edwards. So Carlos Prates only needs to worry about the takedowns. And that's it. That's the only thing he needs to be remotely worried about at any point is just the takedowns. So as long as Carlos Prates can keep this on the feet and pick apart Leon Edwards from range, I think he's going to touch that chin. I'm going to pick Carlos Prates. I think he does get the knock. I think he can knock Leon Edwards' head off. And maybe he doesn't. Maybe he can't, but maybe he rocks him bad. And then it's enough to get it in terms of the scorecards for that round. Then he just needs one of the other 2 rounds. I feel like that's a very, very likely outcome. But do not be surprised if Leon Edwards comes out here, lands 8 takedowns, and racks up 13 minutes of control time and wins a decision. I will not be surprised at all. This is a very, very tricky, high-level fight. So we'll have to see how this one goes down. But I guess going to my head, I'll pick Carlos Prates.